Good morning and welcome to this week's Fiberific live craft and chat where we craft and chat live. I've got everything is different. Everything's been pulled apart and changed. So please let me know in the chat if you can hear me, if you can see me, all those kinds of good things. I've got a whole new microphone system. Hopefully we pick up less noise. That's our goal. Okay. That's the goal, that we get less noise from the outside world in our microphone. So, yeah. And I have a courier delivery that I'm expecting. So we'll get to test out Louis barking at the window as well. So it is, it's definitely, it's been a full on morning. My plans changed last minute. So usually on a Thursday now, I can just be like, yeah, Abs, see you later. Here's the car. But today I needed the car back. So I had to do school run. It's like, oh my gosh, I had to do school run. It's one of those things that I don't have to do that often anymore. Now that I can just I just make the decision: do I need my car today, or can I just be like bye as she drives down the street? So good morning, good morning. If Freaky's being cheeky in the chat, it's not a Thursday morning or Wednesday evening without Freaky being cheeky in the chat. We've got lots of tea. So what I've done is I've actually made tea and coffee. So I'm drinking my coffee first, and my tea's in one of those cups that has a little, it's like a ceramic mug with a little ceramic mug lid on top of it to keep it warm. So yeah, so if you guys can just let me know in the chat if you can hear me, that would be cool. That would be cool. I would appreciate that. So Sally is here, but she's making a cuppa. She'll be back. Leanne is here. Good morning. Leanne has a late note. Oh, Leanne, it's totally okay. It's totally okay. Freaky says I'll be in and out making tea as well. Got to put the kettle on twice for okay. Oh, Angela says you can hear me. Oh, thank you, Angela. I was starting to get stressed. Because it is a new microphone. It's actually not just a new microphone, it's an entire new audio setup. So, and then I was having all sorts of issues with it and had to actually rerun the camera setup with new cabling. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm pulling my hair out. So I'm really thank you. Thank you, Angela. I wanted to say a massive good morning to all the channel members, those of you with your green names. So thank you so much for supporting the live streams and the channel. And I also want to say a massive thank you to those of you that are over on Patreon, and a doubly dodecathon massive thank you to those that are doing it both. Like those that have, because I see you that you've got both. So huge thank you to those guys as well. The sounding great. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Leanne. I don't have any additional controls other than volume than I had over the other one, but it's just a different kind of microphone. Good morning, Jennifer Baker. Welcome. Kathy says she can see me and hear me, so woot. Oh, okay. Big deep breaths. Okay, so I've done no crochet this week. Zero, zip zilch. Turns out when you dislocate your shoulder, the things that you want to do take a back seat really a lot. Yeah. I've been hanging out with a heat pack a lot on my shoulder, which is great. I actually think I can feel that it's definitely improving. I'm just checking something here. Okay. All right. I just want to double check that signal. Oh yeah, it's coming through fine. So yeah, so sorry, the image going to YouTube was looking really blurry, and I'm like, oh no, and then I realized no, it's because I had the setting down just from my end. So hopefully everybody is good. 11T1 Windmills, welcome to the chat. So good to see you here. I've been trolling your Instagram. If you guys aren't following 11T1 Windmills on Instagram, you need to get in there, because do you remember that beautiful bat that we did a few weeks back that I've been spinning? That was an 11T1 Windmills bat. And so she's been in there this last week or so making a whole pile of new roll lags and announcing new things. And I'm like, oh my God, don't spend the money. Hold on to it. I'm saving for something. So I'm trying really hard. It's like this crochet project, like the Queen. I really want to get the Queen done, so I'm not working on any other projects. I'm saving for something, so I really don't want to spend any money. And I'm in the middle of spinning a beautiful 11T1 bat, so you totally need to go in there and check that out. Leanne has said, "Me either. Another week has passed by me and no hook." Yeah, I mean, I actually, my issue with the blanket is how heavy it is, and I don't have any strength in my shoulder, and it's too heavy to one-arm it around the house. It's such a big project. So, I had to sort of come in and lay it out and then go and heat pack. So hopefully it doesn't fall off the table because I don't know if I can pick it back up again. I mean, I can pick up the edges and stuff to work on, but I'm just like, I'm really grateful it's not a project you've got to flip backwards and forwards, but you sort of run along one way and then go back to the start and run along again. So I am really super grateful for that. Kathy says that she's working on one of Claire's hats, and loving it. Absolutely, like Claire's patterns, like you I don't, how do I put this? Because she makes them all for free, some people don't see the value in them because it's like, "Oh, they don't cost me $6." But I think she could totally charge $6 to $7 for her patterns because she also has the step-by-step tutorial, and I just think, that people don't think of them as well designed as they are. So, anyway, I'm gonna get off my little perch on that one, but I do struggle with that I think that some people think, and not everybody obviously, because some of us in here are huge Claire fans, but I do think that some people, and not just with Claire, but when something is free, they place no value on it. So, they don't realize that this thing is free because the designer wants to give something to you. Anyway, I I don't want to, yeah, that's a whole 'nother thing. That's a whole 'nother story. I realized I was making all my cuppas this morning on, like, autopilot, and I used normal cow's milk, and now everything tastes, like, different. Mm, legit different. So, I'm just gonna swing that chair out of the way a little. I'm not in the middle. I don't like that. There we go. Still not quite in the middle, but I'm more middle-ish. Middle-ish. So, I mean, I'm gonna jump straight in because I have not crocheted, so, like, my fingers are actually itching to crochet. You know what I could have done? I've been working really hard, right? I've been doing, like, packing orders. There've been heaps of orders coming out in the last couple of weeks, and so I can't just craft on this desk. But it would be nice if I could have just, like, a couple of days just come in and craft it on this desk because it takes the weight of the whole blanket, and I don't have to worry about it, and I can lift it up and go and have a breather and then come back and, you know, but it's just one of those things. Okay, let's see if I set this up properly? I may not have. Who knows? Um, alright, let me just, yes, I have the chart. I sorted out the chart. I sorted out the autofocus. Um, so it's supposed to be good. Louis just come in, so fingers crossed he's not coming in to get up to shenanigans. He does that now. He's like, "Oh, you're live streaming, are you? I shall do things. I shall do all the things." Um, Kelly says sometimes it's also not worth charging. Depending on where you sell patterns, some websites take a cut, so you'd have to charge too much for the pattern. Um, yeah, look, the reality is no matter where you post your patterns, you have to pay. Like on Claire's website where you get the patterns from, that's not free for her to maintain that website. She has to pay to host all those patterns. And that's the same for anybody with a website. They're not free to have. Um, is the screen supposed to be black? Where is it black on the screen? Claire, are you just tricking with me? Don't do this shit. Oh, sorry, swearing. I'm like nervous because everything's wrong and different. I'm like, oh no. Claire better not be messing. But yeah, so the reality is no matter where patterns are hosted, someone's paying. So if the patterns are being sold for free, the designer is actually losing money, really. But I know we must have said Claire's name like 3 times. Um, No, I don't think the screen's black. I'm not getting a black screen. Maybe refresh, Claire. Is anybody else getting a black screen, like, that can, like, assuage Claire? Anyway, so, yeah, so the reality is no matter where, no matter where a designer has patterns up online, then they're someone's paying for them to be hosted there. So, oh, I'm fine. Oh, thank you. It's all clear on and everyone else's end. Okay, like no offense to Claire or anything, but I'm really relieved it's just Claire because it does stress me out sometimes. Like I'm like, oh no, what's going on? But I actually have a secondary monitor open here for what you guys can see in YouTube. Um, but yeah, so this is the thing. It's like no matter what, it's someone's paying. So if a designer has to put an extra dollar on the patent to cover the fees of the website, like Etsy is notorious for their fees. Um, Even Ravelry have a fee, but their fees are I mean, they're really solid, like they're really good, like inexpensive fees. But it's also tiered so that if you only sell a few patents, they don't charge you a fee. But if you sell tons of patents, then you pay a fee. So I actually think it's nice having that in a tiered way. I think it's set at dollar amounts. Like if you sell X amount of dollars of patents, up to this point is totally free. After this point is this amount. I find that that works well. But yeah, Etsy is notorious. And then you've also got like not just the fees for hosting, but the fee for processing a payment. So that also happens. So like if PayPal's involved, PayPal have their fees, Stripe, credit card companies, whatever. You're not getting away from any kind of online payment charge less than 2% of the cost. Like in general speak, they're like, oh, it's 1.5% plus a 30-cent thing. Like no matter how much it costs, you also pay this 30 cents plus 1.5% or whatever it is. So, for patents, that comes in at least 2%. So, like there are downsides to charging for things because you have to cover all this stuff. And do you use something like PayPal or Stripe where an external company is in charge of keeping all of the data safe? Or do you try and do that yourself and try and save a bit of money? But it's a tough call. It's a tough call. But I honestly think that when things are free, people don't value it as much because they haven't had to make the decision, is it worth it? They go, oh, it's free. Bam, I'll have it. Now, I'm the first person to go, thank you for the free things, taking all the free things. Um, but I also understand that it's not free to make. So, I mean, I don't know where this rant came from. Good morning to everybody. Let's start with a deep conversation of charging for patents. Let me know in the chat. Like, do you just randomly download 4,000 free things and then very rarely pay for something or pay for heaps of things? Or let me know. I'm curious. I think for me now, it's kind of like a 50-50 when it comes to patents. Because I do want, like, if I'm making something, I want to make sure that there is patent support behind it. So usually that means paid. So if I have a problem, I don't feel too weird about contacting the designer going or the designer or the designer's team or whatever and just go, "Hi, is this just me or is it?" Yeah. And quite often it is just me. I've misinterpreted the instructions or something like that. But having somebody come back and explain it to you is cool. But like if you get a free patent, you don't have the right to any of that stuff. Like some designers do it, but they do it out of the own goodness of their own hearts. They don't do it for any other reason. Claire is saying just here, yes, Etsy charge per sale. My website is over $500 a year to run, plus internet's electricity and the hours and hours that go into it. And then I charge less than $5. Yeah, absolutely. Uh, oh, Sally, thank you. I actually forgot to set the stream up. Oh, sorry. I knew I'd hit it. I actually forgot to set the stream up last night and set it up this morning, which meant I had less time to run around and do the things. I didn't even Instagram post it today. Gosh. Vampire says, I do both, but I do have a limit on how much I'm willing to pay. And that's totally legit. Like, um, it's the reality is you do have money is a finite resource for most of us. So that is the thing. I think I look at it like from the perspective of sewing patterns to the perspective of knitting patterns and crochet patterns, and it's just as much work that goes into both. Like all of them, designing a garment is designing a garment. There's just as much work, if not more, that goes into a knitting and crochet pattern as go. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, sorry. Um, oh, that was a big sneeze, and I think I'm gonna have another one. Um, try not to sneeze. Look up, look up. Um, but yeah, but like if you get a sewing pattern that's under, like for a garment that's under $25, but then that pattern normally only covers a particular portion of sizes. If you want more sizes, you've got to buy the pattern again. Whereas with knitting and crochet, if people did that, crafters would lose their cool. They would be like, "Oh, it's a ripoff. It's $25 and it doesn't even encompass all the sizes." And I just think, "Oh my gosh, really? Like pick the size you want to make." Um, I'm just scrolling back in the chat just to have a look. Leanne says, "In the beginning of my crochet learning, I really thought I'd never pay for a pattern. Um, Now I don't hesitate if I love the pattern." And that's the thing, isn't it? You really do have to love what you're paying for. And I think it makes us think about what we're going to make. Um, 11one says that plenty of designers are also paying for professional tech editing, and that adds a cost to making the pattern in the back end. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Tech editing and pattern testing are not free things. They're like usually they're not free things. Yes, it is. New mic is installed after much toing and froing, but it is in. Um, uh, Artok says, I download freebies, but how much money Vampire spends on patterns? I have no money left. Oh my gosh. Thank you for everyone saying bless you. I appreciate that. Um, I do love free patterns, but I'm happy to pay for patterns if it's thorough and detailed. I can afford patterns now, which makes a difference. And I have created a pattern recently, so I get what goes into the process. Yeah, and I'm not saying free patterns are bad. I'm not. Normally, if I'm testing out a designer for the first time and I want to see if how they write is a way that my brain can connect with, I will grab a free pattern first. No issues there, but I will go in and I will like legit go in and then buy patterns afterwards, and I'll keep an eye out for sales and but I will make sure that somewhere along the lines, someone's getting something from me. I download free patterns and pay for ones that I love, and I also have a fondness for crochet magazines. Yeah, crochet magazines pay all their designers. It's not much, like in the scheme of things. And I've heard some terrible, terrible deals that people sign to get to be in a crochet pattern magazine. Some of the deals and what have you are just a little bit crazy. But each designer to their own. They will accept or not accept various things. 6 weeks to go. Yes, there's 6 weeks to the retreat. So, I was actually sitting down last night, like, I need to finalize what I'm putting in these gift bags and actually write down all the stuff I've got to make sure I'm not going crazy. Um, and so, yeah, I also need to Cricut all the gift bags because I hand Cricut all the gift bags, make them all pretty and make badges for everybody. Um, so yeah. I've bought patterns knowing I won't use it in the near future to support the designer. And this is the other thing, isn't it? Like, I love this, Jennifer. I think this is awesome because I've also bought patterns that I'm like, I'm not going to make this anytime soon, but this is definitely going to go up. Like, they're not going to keep it at this price forever. And it's definitely going to go up. So I'm going to buy it now. um, y- are you my official countdowner? Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah, like Leanne says, yes, Jennifer, I also buy to support too. It feels great to do that. Because like thinking about it, if you think more long-term thinking, and I know not everybody can do this, and I get it, don't worry. But if you are making it so a designer feels that their designs are being picked up, that and you love that designer, there is a better chance they'll keep designing. If a designer feels that they are getting no love for their designs, whether people aren't paying for them or they're not making them or whatever, then it is that designer can't afford to keep going, if that makes sense. Considering the amount of work that goes into creating the designs. Um, Vampire says, I hate it when you see a gorgeous picture, fork out $20, and all you get is a chart that looks like chicken scratchings, no written instructions. You can generally ask the question before you purchase it if it's chart only. Um, I do prefer both. I like to have both because sometimes people's charting is off and I need to just read the instructions to be able to follow their chart properly. I definitely don't like chart only patterns. I like to be able to get both. On Ravelry, it normally has it in there if it's written instructions or chart only. Um, it's definitely worth, especially if you hate charts. It's definitely worth DMing the designer or the website or whatever and asking if it's chart only before forking out because yeah, that would be super disappointing. I need to get my body bag stuff sorted and sent up to you. I don't know what that means. What's body bag? That sounds ominous. I think I may have been watching too much Supernatural this week. And when I'm thinking of body bags, I'm probably not thinking of what you're thinking of. Yeah. A pattern buying and knitting and crocheting patterns. Oh, look, yes, agreed. Totally different hobbies. And I agree with Knit Spin Girls as well. And buying yarn is a separate hobby. Indeed. They are all separate hobbies. Yeah, it's like woodworkers, the same deal. That buying the tools is a separate hobby than actually using the tools. Where are all the thumbs ups? Oh, let me have a look. Oh yeah, I mean, does me talking about people who should pay for patterns, is that making you not like this chat today? I don't know. You guys know I like to throw a cat amongst the pigeons every now and again. I'm not saying don't pick up free patterns. I'm just saying when you can, also pick up a paid one. Goodie bags, phone charge to settings. Oh, goodie bags. Okay. Phone change to settings. It's drunk again. Your phone hasn't been drunk for a while. So it's, I remember what was about 12 months ago, 18 months ago, your phone was very drunk a lot of the time. Are you planning on seeing a crime scene at the retreat? Look, I'm really hoping that the answer to that is no. I really hoping that's a hard no for everybody. That is definitely not on my list of my to-do list. I watched a sci-fi movie once and the body bag was another way of just saying human. Bags of mostly water. I think they were saying, yeah. There was a Star Trek episode where a silicon-based life form kept calling them bags of mostly water as well. Lots of people hitting that thumbs up now, so thank you all. You're all awesome. Those of you that aren't hitting the thumbs up, I'm just looking at you right now. Let me look. Oh yeah, I should probably change. Yes, let's change our chat to live chat instead of top chat. And why do we need to do that? Because YouTube sometimes skip messages. So I might be responding to a comment that you can't see because they're putting it in a different order. Game Widow says my phone is a major source of embarrassment. I'm just terrible, like typing messages. I can't even blame the phone, honestly. Like it cannot come up with something that could remotely be the word because of how poorly I typed it out on my phone. I definitely prefer a keyboard than using a phone for messages. And even then I still do typos. Which is kind of hilarious considering my previous life, I was a data entry clerk and I was awesome. Like just, to tell you all. Many, many, many years ago, my first office job back in 1995, data entry clerk. And I was on fire. Especially considering computers, like I didn't own one at home in 95. I'm just trying to think, when did I get one? I got one at home in 97. I was able to buy one through work, which was cool. But yeah. When did you get your first computer? I'm very curious now. I got a huge, amazing Pentium 133. I remember being so excited with a huge CRT monitor and just and getting my discs for my internet so that I could have internet. And then luckily I lived by myself, so I just disconnected, like I would just unplug the phone so it couldn't ring. So yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing. I was watching was it a TikTok? It might have been an Instagram reel where someone was talking to their daughter about back in the day when they used to have to wait for the CD-ROM to arrive in the post so they could get on the internet. Oh, the daughter had asked what AOL was. What's AOL? And they were like, what's what? And she was like, AOL. And they're like, oh, that was America Online. That was like our chat room. 97-ish for Claire, for Sally. Claire was 24. Freaky, I was introduced to computers at high school, and we had a laptop hire scheme, so I could hire one to do my assignments. But I couldn't, like, I didn't own it. Chintamani was like 88 or 86 or something. That's getting in there. Oh, Arto, good point. Good point. Do I consider a Commodore 64 a computer? What did you do on it? Was it just for games? Like, did you just play games on it? Freaky says couldn't take computers to school. They were too heavy. We got a 286 with 8 megabits of RAM. Oh, Josephine. Yes. Do you know, like, something I'll say, right? I'm gonna put this out on a limb. I think that software companies have become so lazy with being efficient with the amount of space software takes up because of the sheer size of hard drives now. Like, I remember, like, everything had to come on a disk, right? So you had, I think it was 600 megabits what could fit on most disks. Now, some things had multi-disk installs. That's fine. But having a 200 megabit hard drive meant that, you didn't want to have too many things that had a multi-disk install. So yeah, it was just, and so now I'm like, why does this like note keeping app require, 4 gig of space? Like, what is it doing that's so awesome? It turns out it's got, like, the one I was looking at, turned out it had like a voice to note message thing. So it wasn't dodgy. But I was just like thinking about it the other day. The things that just sit and jump into my brain. Let me have a look here. Floppy disks, then disks. Yes, that's right. You had the big 5.25-inch discs first. 5.25 inch, like the actual floppy, big floppy square ones, and then they came down to the little 2.5-inch discs. No, is that right? I can't remember the exact measurements. The little hard discs, which got confusing because people were calling them hard disks versus soft disks, except your hard disk drive on your computer was separate again. I remember that confusion. Late shifters arrived. Welcome, Francis. I remember booking the kids into the library for using a computer to begin with. We needed to save for one. Yeah, they were expensive, man. Jennifer says that we got one when we started our business in 97 and it cost over $4,000. Yeah. Like now a $4,000 computer can basically run a mission to Mars. Well, it can't. But do you know what I mean? Like your $4,000 computer from way back when, especially considering $4,000 was like what it could buy other than a computer. Oh my gosh. Okay. Um, we had Macs growing up, but never owned any of them. Dad would bring them home from work every night. He was a computer teacher. Ah. Just 386 back in 97. Francis says we won a raffle. A micro B computer in 84, had to loan everything from cassette. Oh, I remember using cassettes. Oh gosh, they were crazy. My cousins, because my uncle was a total computer nerd, like back in the 80s, and so they always had one, and we would play games on cassettes, and it would just blow it. Me and my brother would just be like, "Oh, magic!" Um, let me look here. I get 5 and a quarter and then 3.5. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Um, uh, our school computers were Apple IIe's. Um, my washing machine has more brain power than the first computer I used. Yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it? Yeah, they can still cost that much. It depends on what you buy. If you're buying like a fully decked out Mac, like MacBook Pro, yeah, you're looking at that kind of money. But I can tell you I don't spend that kind of money on what I use to run an entire live stream. I think my laptop that's running this, it's about 4 years old, so I've been keeping an eye on it. And it cost around, I think it was like 2,000 or 2,100. Now, admittedly, I also have external keyboard, external monitor, and other bells and whistles for live stream. But the laptop itself is what does all the work, really. Memory sticks paid over $100 for 2 gig, and now they're $20 to $40. And seriously, and who buys a 2 gig memory stick? Judith, you made it to a live stream. Ah, that's so awesome. Judith has been leaving comments on the replays for a while now and never made it to a live stream, like the live stream. So it's good to see you in here. Um, so yeah, but I mean, and seriously, yeah, who buys a 2 gig stick drive now? Like Abby's school, they want 16 gig ones. So, and like she had to supply her own like portable hard drive. But just the changes in the past sort of 30 years, like the attitudes, like the people that had computers at home versus people that don't. Whereas now it's just like, what do you mean you don't have a computer at home? And whereas before it's like, oh my God, you've got a computer in your house? Why? um Vampire says my daughter's calculator can do more than my phone. Do you know what? Do you know our mobile phones? Our mobile phones have more technology in them than the cameras and for movie making back in the 70s and 80s. So those 80s classic movies did not have even half of what we have in our phone. Like, I sit back and I'm always blown away. I'm just always like, you can what they did and what they could do, and yet the technology they had, whereas now it's crazy. Chintana says at high school we collected Coles dockets to win the new D improved apples, some of which had 3-inch color monitors with colors. Oh my gosh. Eldest wants a gaming laptop, so dropped 8K and built a custom one. Spent more time in repairs than in use. Look, mine's a gaming laptop. I've got an Asus ROG Strix gaming laptop that I use to running these streams. I think custom building a PC makes sense. Custom building a laptop does not, in my brain. If you need so much, put it into a PC. That's what, and I mean, I can edit videos on this laptop. I do edit videos on this laptop, but it's not worth 8 grand. I don't know what it's worth to me if it died. I'd be all like, "Oh my God, I've got to replace it now." So please don't die, little laptop. Where are we? Yeah, I remember like a lot of schools did the whole collect the dockets from the different stores for like computer equipment or sporting equipment. Judith forgot about the halftime difference. Judith, are you in South Australia? Um, oops, hang on. Let me look here. Now it's cell phones. You get odd looks if you say you don't have one. Yeah, it's a bit like that. Angela's getting a nice coffee. Nice job, Angela. Freaky says, looking at your blanket, I sort of see a heart. Yeah, like just here, just with how it's I mean, it's not a heart, but it definitely could be mistaken for one, for sure. Claire says, mine's a gaming laptop too. It's brilliant. I had Chantel helping me with what to buy. Well, I hope it lasts as long as mine has. I am in, like, I've been loving mine. I love mine a lot. It does so much. You do so much, little laptop. I was just giving it a pat. I know you couldn't see, but I was giving it a pat. I do that. I also pat my car when it's been doing very good. Yes, South Australia. Haven't set up my computer since we moved 6 years ago. Now I'm retired from nursing, just using my phone and rarely my iPad. Oh, there you go. And that's the thing, because your phone can do all this stuff now, right? Yeah, it's cool, Freaky. It's cool. Rebecca's wondering what she's missed. I don't know, like, where are we at time-wise? About half an hour. We've just been chatting. You know the drill, Rebecca. Like, we just chat about all sorts of random stuff. We've chatted about paid patterns versus free patterns, and now we're talking about computers and what we all started with versus what we've got now. Like, let me know if me moving around is really distracting on the audio, because I'm so used to just being able to do whatever I want, because the other one picked up the entire room, whereas this one really picks up just its vicinity. If I move too far back, hopefully it should be picking up less. Sally says, I want a gaming laptop. There's only so many games you can play on a Mac. Yes, agreed. You definitely do need if you, especially because like you game, you should get something else. Game Widow says, my husband is an IT dude at school. I call him my in-house technician. I'm the in-house technician here. If anyone has problems with the network, if anyone requires more gear, when the whole, everyone had to work from home and the kids had to do all the schoolwork from home, all the local shops here were just wiped out of like monitors, keyboards, mouses. I mean, I know they're mice when they're plural of an animal. Is it still mice when it's plural of like an electronic mouse? I don't know. And then, but yeah, basically all the peripherals were just wiped out at all our local stores. And my husband had been able to keep going to work for a little bit longer. And my daughter had her school laptop. And then we realized her webcam wasn't working, but we couldn't take it back to school to get it fixed because school was basically closed. And he didn't have a webcam because he'd never needed one. And it just happened that I had lots of spares. Like I could give them both external keyboards and set Tim up with 2 extra monitors and, like basically gave everybody a really sweet setup for at home. And my husband was like, you just keep all this stuff here? Like where? Like, I am very good at Tetris. That is my game of choice, is Tetris. So yeah, so we were able, because I'm a tech hoarder. I mean, that's not to say that the webcams I gave them were great. They were like dodgy 720p webcams. This is a 4K webcam that's giving you this. I do have it downgraded to 1080p for these live streams so that we don't have to stream huge amounts of data. But this thing could do some seriously good stuff. And this is not a webcam. This is a camera, like camera. So camera. I'm sure that made a lot of sense. This is a camera. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I don't. I realized this morning I got home from school run and realized I haven't had any coffee yet. This is bad. This is bad. Louie's been in Abby's bedroom and has just appeared with one of her squishmallows. That's going to go down well. Linda says, if you have the space, Get a desktop. They're heaps better than laptops for gaming. It depends on what you want to play. I don't agree with that wholeheartedly anymore. I used to. 4 or 5 years ago, I agreed with that. Now I'm like, maybe. It depends. You need to look around. Hello, cute boy. What are you doing there? He's like scratching on my leg and standing up, being all adorable. I'm not letting you outside. No. Sorry, it's live stream time. Where's my phone? I take a photo. It's live stream time. He's being adorable. Let's see. No, he knows. Like this, I'm going to take a photo, and he just runs. He's gone. He's like, Vrr. I was going to get a photo of his little cute face. He's like standing there staring at me like, Mommy, let me out. That's why he's gone into Abby's room to trash it, because he thinks I'll let him outside. Artuk says, not a clue of what you're talking about, but I'm having fun listening. Husband opened a cupboard and a monitor, mouse, and keyboard appeared on my kid's desk. That cupboard is like Mary Poppins carpet bag. Oh, I'm going to try again. He's back. He's back. Let's see what we can do. Hang on. Ow, 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 ow. Scratch my arm. What are you doing, you little booger? Louis? No? We're going to see if we can catch him. It's a camera that'll take pictures, not just your face cam. Yeah, it's a Sony A6400, which is like a little mirrorless DSLR. He's gone again. I don't know what he's doing. Gaming laptops are really good these days. Yeah, they really are. They really are. They do a lot more than they used to, because gamers are on the move. Gamers actually go places to game. So they need to be able to take their rig with them. Now, quite often when gamers are at home, they do what I do here, which is add in external peripherals, but it's still run by their gaming laptops. Just plug in some USB hubs, a couple of HDMI ports, and bam, hello, multi-display. Yeah, I mean, like, how do I put this? If you want to be able to like change out the componentry yourself or upgrade easily enough, then sure, a desktop is better. But if you, excuse me, that bobbin of yarn on that spinning wheel is not for you. I'm going to take a photo of you. I'm going to take a photo of you. You're very close to my spinning wheel there. I'll share this photo in the fun zone. I've heard a little noise and I've looked over and he's like tapping his nose on the bobbin. He really wants my attention. He's like, what will I have to do to get her to get up and open the door for me? Sally says, I actually like to sit on the couch and game. That's what I do on my Mac. So I'll be happy with a gaming laptop. Now, the one thing that the Macs actually have better than most gaming laptops is they're super light. Like a Mac, 600 grams, a gaming laptop, 1.8, 2 kilos. Like, yeah, that's the thing. I would not use a gaming laptop on your lap. Actually, I wouldn't use a Mac on my lap, honestly. But that's me. I don't like anything on my lap. Also, I'm big with short legs, so anything on my lap tilts down and just slides off. So, yeah, that could be a personal thing. Oh, my goodness. We're nearly at the end of a row, you guys. And I'm nearly at the end of my coffee, which means I'll be able to switch over to my tea. So, yeah. Let me just hide that. And then Rebecca's like, and then here I'm like low tech stuff like gardening supplies and fiber and spinning. And do you know what? We're doing that too. Well, I am. I've just been like planting out new garden beds. I've got some really nice heritage tomatoes coming, and lots of great herbs for cooking with, and knitting and crocheting and spinning supplies. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we just buy all of the things. I don't think any of them are like out of bounds. I think it's just like, yes, I shall also have this. I was more of a gamer than I am now. So, has anyone used the app Knit. Is it Knit Rhino? I've never used it. I don't know what it is, so I don't know if it's worth subscribing. But yeah, if anyone's in the chat and you've used it, feedback would be awesome. Nisbin Girl says, I hate laptop keyboard mouse combo thing. How are you meant to type without touching that stupid thing? Agreed. I buy wireless mouse and wireless keyboard, Bluetooth them, and yeah. Then that, because I agree. I agree. I love gardening too. Currently converting more of our backyard to a veggie patch. I think if you've got the space to grow vegetables or fruit or even just some herbs in like a container on a balcony, then do it. Like absolutely do it. It's one of the most rewarding things, especially growing something from seed. But like I tend to buy my herbs, pre-sprouted. Sally says I wasn't a gamer until Chantel introduced me. Did I introduce you to Stardew Valley? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Francis says I was inspired by Chantel last week and got what feels like all of my hair cut off this morning. It's definitely, I'm still adjusting to it and it's not styling how I would like. Like I'm getting like this little like fluffy bit at the back. I'm like, I'm gonna have to put something in it to make it calm down. Water's not enough, it just dries and goes. So, but yeah, it's some adjusting to. It's some adjusting to. I don't know if any of you guys follow my Twitter. It's not really Yarncraft related, but yesterday I tweeted out that it was like a note to self. It was like check the kitchen bench before you put your glasses on it because Abby had somehow splodged she's 17, she's not 3. She's managed to splodge toothpaste like all over the side of the bench. I couldn't see it. It's a white bench, white toothpaste. And I put my glasses down, right? Like just down. And because I like let them lean back, like I make them sit flat, right? And then, I'm washing my hands and I put my glasses back on. Don't think anything of it. La 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 la. Walking around doing stuff up to the shops, blah blah blah, whatever. I get home and I do something and I run my hand through my hair and I'm like, what is that? I look in the mirror and there's toothpaste all over the side because I move my glasses up and down while I'm doing things. So I'd smeared toothpaste all anyway. It's really not great in your hair. I just want to say that. I don't recommend. Don't put toothpaste in your hair. So yeah, that was great. That was legit. Never doing that again. I did through a Zoom chat. You and Jackie were talking about it. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. I'm not sorry. I actually had to uninstall it because I kept playing it when I should have been doing other jobs. So I was just like, nope, gone. Do I have it installed on any of my computers? I don't think I do. I think I had to wipe it off both computers because I just would be like, I'll just play a day. I'll just play a day. And then, 8 days has gone by. And you're like, I'm just waiting for this thing to finish and then I'll go. The funny thing, the last couple of days from Game Widows with the e-spinner, husband shows no interest in my spinning with spindles. Very intrigued by the powered version. I bet he is. Can your powered version be charged by a USB power brick? A lot of them can be now, which is great as long as you've got like the 12 volt, like the option to switch between 12 volt and 9 volt. Oh, I'm in the last section. I better make sure I'm doing it right. So it's 1, 2, then 1. Goodness me, we really did get to the end quite quickly. 1, 2, and then get in the stitch, get in the stitch. There we go. And bam. All right, minty fresh hair. Yeah. I don't recommend it. I also play with mods, which changes the game completely. Oh, see, I never did that. I just played the stock standard game from when it first came out. I think they did some updates, but I haven't played in such a long time. I would probably need to start again. Okay, moving on. Moving on to the next color. Why is this warm here? I'm like, what is it under my blanket that's causing temperature changes? I think it was just where I had my arm leaned. Okay, next color. We are on to the next purple. My brain's like, we've got to do as much as we can because the reality is I'm probably not going to pick it up for another couple of days. So don't forget also those of you that are local to me here in Brisbane that we have Caffeinated Crafters is on tonight, and I am planning on going. I am hanging out to go, as a matter of fact. I'm just like, I've been for the last couple between me being sick and then Tim getting, the big sick and just, but my arm is still sore, so I'm probably not going to craft tonight. It's actually surprising how sore it still is. It's like, they tell you, oh yeah, it's going to take 6 to 8 weeks before you feel back to normal. And I'm thinking, my brain's like, oh yeah, yeah, you'll be fine in a week. And then when you're not, it's just like, wait, what do you mean I'm not fine in a week? And it's like, we never said a week. We said 6 to 8 weeks. Let me go here. Chintami says that there's only 20 thumbs ups. I've got 31 on this end. And then over 40 are watching. 11one says we've been playing the board game at home. It's so addictive. Which board game? What did I miss? Are you playing Stardew Valley as a board game? I am so out of the loop. I didn't even know Stardew Valley was a board game. Tell you which board game I absolutely love is Ticket to Ride. That and Settlers of Catan are probably my two favorite board games. My daughter plays Minecraft and got her dad addicted. Now he plays all the time. Abby used to be like a massive Minecraft player. And then she stopped. Dad's organized a specialist appointment. And didn't tell him. Oh, right. Okay. Stardew Valley has a board game. I'm definitely going to have to look it up. I definitely have to look it up. Where did you get it from? Can I get it from like Zing or something like that? Or do I need to order it from online? Sally says, I've seen it and I've been so tempted. Oh, I remember this one conversation, like Abby was playing she was playing Minecraft in a server. I'm just double checking I'm doing the right thing here. Hang on a second. So that. Yeah, and so she was in a public server playing Minecraft, and apparently someone she had to fight something about being kicked out of the server room because somebody thought that she was some sort of like not so much a bot, but like they thought she was fake because she'd come in like into a kid's server room, but she was kicking all their butts. And except, she was just that good at that stage. She doesn't play anymore now. And I just remember the conversation like, I'm sorry, Abs, sometimes this stuff happens. You just move on to a different server room. But somebody else in the room was just like, no, I've played this player before and she's legit good. I can't remember who it was. But anyway, I just remember the conversation, like having to explain to my 8-year-old that all these, teenage boys just butthurt because they're being beaten by a little girl. I just remember that because she's just very fast. I'll just watch her on the keyboard. She'd be like, meh, 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 meh. Yeah. Just at our local game shop, it's a cooperative game. I like cooperative games. Is it Forbidden Island? Forbidden Island or Forgotten Island? That's a good cooperative where everybody has to work together to be saved off the island. I like that one. Minecraft Steve, don't remind me. Yes. Oh my gosh. Is he put back together? Is he all saved? I know Leanne had a problem with Minecraft Steve blanket that she made, this phenomenally huge blanket. Like, were there like 300 squares in like various shades of green and stuff to make Minecraft Steve? If you have a photo, seriously, Leanne, go and throw it in the fun zone. That was a work of art. Legit. Just double checking I'm doing all the things I should be doing. Lucky I double checked when I did because I wasn't. Ah, man. I've got my little knitting project. I'm currently, also very slowly, not recently, last caffeinated crafters, knitting, I think it's called Cumulus Tea. It's a knitted t-shirt sort of thing, and it's just really simple, just raglan sleeve, top down construction t-shirt. And I'm making it with grey silk. Just so I've got something a bit cute to wear that, I can actually wear in Queensland. That's the other catch. Living in the subtropics makes wearing your handmaids a bit trickier. Like, you really have to consider the weather. Everything's going all right with, like, visuals and audio and everything? You guys are all happy? Oh, goodness me. So we've got the retreat in a few weeks, 6 weeks. We've got, um caffeinated crafters this afternoon. I'm just having a little run through of my brain of the Fiberific commitments. I actually just had another chow goo delivery hit yesterday afternoon, like late in the afternoon. So I've got to go through that this afternoon and get a whole pile of back orders out. So if you're waiting on your order and it was waiting on chow goo stuff, there's a pretty decent chance it's in this box. I think the stuff in the next box is more just restocking. It's not so much filling back orders. But sometimes they move stuff from one order to the next. Steve's good now and can take the rough house of the owner. That is awesome. Leanne says it's beautiful silk. Thank you. Has anyone made garments out of cotton for Aussie weather and had success? Yes, I have. I've made a lot of, mostly like, tops, like, little I call them cover tops. So I can wear a singlet under it and then just throw a crochet thing over it. Whether it's like a little jacket that hangs open, like a little waist length jacket sort of thing. And I think they're great. They give me like for me, they're just like, I don't like to wear singlets out of the house on their own. So it just makes it just so that I can. But it is definitely, I would recommend cotton over wool in Queensland. For sure, for sure. And I have a fab sewing retreat. It's actually on my birthday weekend, so that's pretty exciting. So I'm off to do that in a few weeks. Um, I can't wait for that actually. And hey, just saying it's your birthday month. It is. Do you know nothing tells you it's your birthday month like the 1st of August, you start getting emails with like birthday discount vouchers for place. And you're just like, I didn't even know that shop was still open. Okay, that's cool. It's a way to remind people that you exist. Um, did the order I never made come in? I don't know what that means. Um, I used the female model in Minecraft with the downloaded skin. She looks like a blocky version of Dax from DS9. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. I like that you can download your own skins. I think that's fun. Sally says that she's made a couple of tops using the sheepy's whirl. I've seen a lot of people make things out of the sheepy's whirls. Um, Deb says, "I'll be on that sewing retreat with Chantel." Oh, I don't know how I feel about the second part of your sentence there, Deb. That just felt really ominous, like I may have something planned. Yeah, that feels very ominous to me. Like, I'm gonna make it home from that retreat, right? I'm just checking. Um, uh Freaky says, "I've yet to figure out how to change a Minecraft skin." Oh, there you go. Well, maybe Vampire can help you with that. It seems that Vampire has done it. I haven't played Minecraft myself. Um, but yeah, I know Abby still plays every now and again. Like, I'm just throwing this out in the world. Like, she listens to these sometimes at school, like just throwing Abby straight in the river. Because every now and again I get like a message that she's changed her Mojang password because she was so young. When we set all this up for her, she couldn't have the account in her name. Not so much in her. She didn't have an email address, so we just used one of mine. So every time, and then she sends me like a DM, "Mom, can you accept this and then send me the code?" And I'm like, "Yep, okay." Um, but yeah, it's like we could probably change that now because she's not 8 anymore. I don't know. I don't know. It's all these things that you realize your teenager needs, um, like a copy of her Medicare card because she is 17 and she can legit go to the doctor by herself if she wants to, and a private health card, and like just different things. Just like, oh yeah, she might need that, and like realizing she's going to be 18 in April, so we're going to have to like help her register to vote. It's like, holy cow. I'm just gonna grab my cup of tea cup. It's on another table, so I've just gotta do a little switcheroony here, so bear with. I'm back. I was away for so long. So, my tea has been hopefully staying warm in one of these cups where it's just got the little lid. Feels warm enough, hopefully. Mm, that's not dreadful, considering it's been sitting there for an hour. Um, I haven't played games on the computer for years. I have a couple I play on my phone semi-regularly. I think that's more what I tend to do is I play my games on my phone and my iPad. More just like when I've got a minute to kill, like I'm waiting for something or I'm in a line somewhere and I'm like blip blip blip, just play a little game. I've just realized none of the games that I play go blip blip blip. So I don't know where that came from. Goodness me. So, something came up in my Facebook memories of like it was Sunday or Saturday, something like that. And I was up to this color, like, but the first time. And it was like a Facebook memory from, I want to say 2 years ago, but it could be a year ago. I don't know. But I was just like sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, I'm up to that color again. It's just, must be the right time of the year to crochet with the persimmon yarn. Um, I love playing Tetris on my NES. I don't even have an NES anymore. What have we got? We've got, I tell you, a game I really love playing, which I haven't been able to play since I hurt my shoulder, is Lightsaber on PlayStation. It is so much fun. It's so much fun. But yeah, it's very much waving arm movements, and that's not a good thing at the moment. My arm hates me a lot. I think there's a one-handed version of it. I wonder if I could drop it down to a single-handed version and play right-handed. Oh, I didn't even think of that. I think there is an option for a one-handed version. Dude, not checking it today. I got too much stuff I need to get done today. I can't check it. Because if I check it, I'm gonna go and play. And I don't just play for 1 or 2 songs. No, no. I play for a playlist, which is like 10 or 12 songs. Louis has something that crunches when he chews it. I'm going Chintamani. I've got to check to see what he's got, but I'm definitely going to IKEA, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, little torture dog who is trying to get my attention at no, he doesn't have the bobbin, at every opportunity. What he's done is he grabbed food out of his bowl, little mouthful of food, and brought it to right near my doorway. So that when he was crunching, it sounded like he was like crunching something really loudly. Because he's mean. So yes, I'm coming to IKEA tonight. I will be there, Chintamani. Hopefully with something in my bag for you. Um, yeah. Um, you can get NES games on your Switch. I don't have a Switch either. So Abby's got a Switch, so maybe she's getting NES games. I don't know. Um, but yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't even know what games Abby plays on NES. It's a animal game where there's a village. I'm such a good parent. I bought her the game. Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is what she mostly plays on her Twitch. Her Switch, not her Twitch. Twitch is a gaming platform where you can stream like this, but for gaming. There's actually a lot of stuff happening on Twitch now, like people crafting. I sat down and watched a glass painter do something, and it was so amazing. So, yeah, Animal Crossing. Oh, goodness me. We are powering along here with this. What are you all working on? I forgot to ask earlier in the chat. Let me know what you're working on. Like, what's your current project? You may not be working on it right this second, but what's your current project of focus? So for me, it is the Queen. Focus on the Queen, Chantel. Get the Queen done. Abby does have the paid membership. Yeah. Or at least she did. Maybe it's expired now. I don't know. I'd have to check. I know we got it when she first got the thing. But yeah. Definitely one of those. Freaky says I'm spinning fiber for a pair of socks. Nice. Molly is making mini skeins at the moment and a cable jumper. Linda is making, oh, hang on, I missed one. That jumped. Leanne says my granddaughter is getting a Switch for her 15th birthday. And then we're on the 20th. Oh, wow. She's getting decked out, isn't she? Cardigan from Linda, finally picking up again after almost a month of not having the energy and knit. To knit, don't get COVID. I mean, I think that's everyone's goal, right? Baby blanket, Bavarian blanket, and a glittery blanket. You got so much going at the moment, Artsog. Vampire is crocheting a jumper very slowly. I'm making a post-virus shawl. I'm in a shawl making mood. Yeah, you've been cranking out the shawls. Temperature blanket and Tunisian crochet shawl. I'm alternating between my Attic 24 Yuletide and my Adiday Design dip shawl. That looks pretty cool. And did you guys all see that Adiday Designs put out 2 new designs lately? Like, I'm pretty chuffed. I'm back to my Christmas stockings. I got sidetracked with some baby gifts, but they're done now. Awesome. How are you going with that? You've had to get like 11 billion done. Also tap dancing on Vampire's Last Nerve, but that's just a hobby. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I'm still working on Charlotte's Universe. That's a big project, that one. I just finished the Shift Cowl and then back to the Sleeve Island on the Optica sweater. I would like to make a small project to have a break, but I also know if I have a break, I think I just need to finish the spinning because I haven't quite finished spinning that, and that's where I'm going to take my break with, and then keep working on this. I'm crocheting a jumper using my embroidery machine. Oh, sorry. I'll read that again. I'm crocheting a jumper and using my embroidery machine. Whew. Judith says that she stayed in Claremont, a Gold Foster King, found 2 cotton plants growing on the side of the road, have enough cotton to knit a top, ordered cotton carders from Thread Collective, were rusted. Oh, there's actually a video here on this channel. I can't remember the exact name of it. Sally, if you could have a look, it was when we were working directly when we were spinning directly off the cotton bolls and how we made the little faux poonies. So you don't need cotton carders to work with your cotton. You can just get started. But I think there was 2 videos. One was where we processed the cotton to spin with it, and the other one was when we were plying it. Because we just made a little sample. But there is a video here. So you don't need cotton carders. Bob Curran has finished the Sieg socks and the Castledale 50-gram spin. Nice. A brioche cowl. So that's knitted brioche. I've made a crochet brioche cowl that I love. It's actually one of Adiday Designs cowls. It's the 90-degree cowl. That one was so much fun. Rigid Heddle weaving commission scarf as well as doing some spinning. 11T1 Windmills is watching while she works in the shed, making the Firefly pre-orders. I might do some spinning later. Oh, I saw those and I was like, I really want them. But I didn't. I was a good girl. Well, a good for me, not so much for you. Um, Nettie says, I'm 20 rows in on my first pair of socks using the 9-inch circulars. I'm hoping it's 9-inch, not 9 centimeters, because circulars that are this long could be tricky. How are you liking it? They're a love hate. Some people love the 9 inches. I'm in 9-inch circular love group. Some people hate them. Kathy's still making hats. Dolores, 13 stockings to finish. Working on number 7. Ideally, I'd like to be a little bit further ahead. You'll get there. You're cranking them out. I just finished a crochet balaclava, but currently no crochet project on the go. I need to start something. Ooh, what kind of thing do you want to make? Deb says, I'm researching rigid header looms. Message me, Deb. I may have something for you. Yeah, you can. You can totally spin directly off the seed. You don't need to do anything with it. But I actually prefer to actually turn it into a little pony and then spin it. Sally, sorry. What you're looking for is a link to the Spin the Cotton Bowl videos. If you can find it. Otherwise, yeah. Knitting a kids jumper for charity using up some acrylic from Stash. Nice. And Judith is knitting in triple check stitch a scarf for my son. Lovely. That is awesome. Yes, loving the 9-inch circulars. Tried double pins and never finished the socks. I definitely like this. Depending on how you're making your socks, right? Like obviously top down or toe up, there's variations. But when you get to that heel change, I found I needed an extra needle. But other than that, absolutely love the 9-inch circulars for making socks. Sue Ellen's crying because she can't decide what to start. Do you want a big project or a little project or something to use up your stash or something as an excuse to shop? Yeah, you got some choices. Oh, there we go. Sally's grabbed a link for one of those videos. That is awesome. So, but that's a link to spinning cotton, processing cotton straight from a cotton ball. We did that. Was it 12 months ago? I don't know. It feels like 12 months ago at least. Sue Ellen says maybe socks, but they just finish so quick. Yeah, maybe you need a bigger project. Have you ever knit yourself like a jumper using 4-ply? Nice lightweight jumper, but using it would be super stretchy. Like that's the plan. I think the other one is the week before. So if you go in and find that one at least, then you'll be able to find the other one because it's around it somewhere. They need new thumbnails. Those ones have got dodgy thumbnails. Leanne's Ray Sally, but there's a link. You might have links to different videos. Looks like Sally linked the plying. Leanne may have linked the other one. Oh, there we go. All the links are in. Oh my gosh. Francis says, I'm stuck. I can't decide what to do with the scarf I'm planning. I've spun all the wool, but just can't get started weaving. Is there a difference in the colors? Like, have you got a different warp to your weft or are you trying to decide like a pattern that you're going to weave into it, or is it just a straight up and down? Like, we need more information, Francis. Oh, guys, what I call my weaving Bible was under the edge of my bed because I was reading it. And we had another water issue here in the house. This one was man-made. My husband had emptied out the filter of our front loader, so the filter's right down the bottom at the front, and he'd emptied it out, but he didn't know, right? He just assumed it was like an overflow valve, that the majority of the water did not go anywhere near it, that it was bypassed unless there was a problem. And because it's quite difficult to open it, he decided to not make it super tight closed, and didn't think it would matter, and, um, it matters, because it's not an overflow valve, it's a filter, and every bit of water goes through anyway, what's happened is, I'm in the kitchen cooking dinner. Our laundry's just off, but I wasn't looking in the laundry. I was focusing on making the food. And my husband comes home from work, and the first thing he says to me is, "Should there be this much water next to your bedside table?" And I'm sort of like standing in the kitchen like, "There shouldn't be any water next to my bedside. What? What?" Um, and I've gone in and it's just this lake in our bedroom. Um This lake of water all through our bedroom because our bedroom is on the other side of the wall to the laundry, and the water had in the laundry, it hadn't crept out to the kitchen. This house was built so badly, it doesn't the laundry doesn't funnel the water to the internal drain. It actually funnels it away, and it oops, I'll just bang that, funnels it away and into the wall. So all the water had gone the opposite way to where I was standing. Um, it was just I was just anyway, it's a huge amount of water, and under our bed's a bit dusty because I don't get under there that often. I'm allergic to dust, so that's someone else's job. And anyway, so all the stuff had to come out from under our bed. Our bed's pushed up against another wall so that the wall that all the water came through, we've got like fans pointing at it, like blowing on it to try and dry it all out. I think I've got to check it today, but I think I should be able to turn the fans off today. But I was just like, "Oh my god." And so it's just been so much noise, and like there's just all the crates of all the stuff that we normally had stored under our bed are now blocking my access to all my stock. So and they're too heavy, I can't move them. So last night I'm like, "Honey, I need to get orders out. All these crates need to just move over there." And he was like, "I put them where you told me to." I'm like, "I know, I assumed I'd be able to move them, but I can't because I'm just weak at the moment." Anyway, yeah, lots of water through everything, including his wardrobe and the office wardrobe. Mm. There was much frustration in our house that night. Um, my eyes twitching listening. Um, where it goes. Hang on a second. Saw the video of you ginning the cotton using the spindle. Is there another? Possibly not. That could be the one. Um, it's all It's all varieties of red. I'm not sure I want to add other colors. Simple weaving on rigid heddle. Some of the red is art yarn. I would use the art yarn in your weft rather than your warp. But other than that, maybe just close your eyes and just lucky dip it. Um, maybe a crochet carton for me to use at my hand spun. I always find it hard to pick patterns. Me too. There's actually a fantastic book, and it's been written by spinners to use hand spun to make garments. I'll find it and put a photo of it in the fun zone, Suella. They've got one for sweaters and for socks as well. Do I have both? I definitely have the sweaters. But anyway, I hope you don't have color. Oh, we don't. We have lino through the entire house. So that's one thing. Yay. Because that would have been worse, I think. Um, I think you're destined to have a water view. No. Um, oh, and also knitting a vintage jumper in 4-ply sock wool is very stretchy. Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes the hardest part of getting started, especially if using lots of colors of yarn, is just to start. It's literally just to start. So sometimes just lucky dipping it is the way to go. And like obviously you don't have to do like if you pick it up and it's either too close to the color you've just done or it's like going to be garish, you can make the decision to lucky dip a different color. and throw that one back in. Or you could just be like, "Nope, that's the color," but it's your call because it's your make. If not a view, then a feature. Yeah, I'm a bit done with the water views and water features. We had the internal water feature when the roof leaked during that massive hailstorm. Um, yeah, I would like less water features in my house, please. But oh my gosh, it was just so stressful because I'm like, dinner's already started. I'm trying to keep an eye on dinner. I got to clean up the floor in the laundry, clean up the bedroom, and just I was just like, because the load that caused it was still running, it wasn't finished. So I paused that load and I'm like, because I can't be like, because my knees are busted, I can't get down to the filter. So I'm like, honey, you got to get in here, you got to get this filter out, and you got to put it back in properly. And then he's like, done it, and I'm like, are you sure that's tight enough? He's like, yeah, it's fine. So I start the load up again, and water just keeps bursting out. I'm like, quickly pause it, and I'm like, okay, so it's either broken or you're not putting it in tight enough. And so I've like, gotten in there and like got him out of the way and like turned it. And I could turn it a whole other turn. He goes, "Oh, I didn't want to make it too tight." And I'm like, dude, I'm about to get the pliers to make it super tight. And then that worked. But yeah, it was, he knows that I'm like stressed out when I call him dude. I'm like, dude. And he just looks at me because I don't usually call my husband dude. Like, dude, you just need to do it. Oh my God. Oh. So stressful. It was so stressful. I found the whole night just like, I was so angry. It was just like, oh, it's grr, cheese, dying. Bob Curran is contemplating the new Stephen West cardigan. I haven't seen it. His stuff is always amazing. I personally don't tend to make anything using his crazy colors because I don't like that for myself. But um like, his designs are fantastic. Hey, Knit Pearl and Squirrel with Granny D Thompson. Welcome to the chat. It's good to see you in here. Um, 42 watching and only 37 thumbs. I know, Claire. I try not to take it personally. Some people just don't like being here. That's all I can say. The other thing is they may not be logged in. I don't think you can thumbs up if you're not logged in. But then if they're not logged in, they can't chat either. So, you know. It's definitely a possibility. Yeah, he's an amazing designer, Chintamani. His way to shape and create depth, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm just not a big fan of bright colors, whereas he absolutely loves it, and it suits him so much. And that's the advantage of making your own garments. Is you can legit Claire's like 39 thumbs. I'm looking and it's 38. So I'm like, either someone's removed one. But yeah, he just what he does with shapes and shaping and how to make something beautiful and I love it. I absolutely love it. I just wish he didn't love pearl I-cord edging. There's a bit of that, isn't there? There's a few little steps that he likes that are just like, what? Forgot to thumbs up. You need to remind me. Well, we did just then. I want to make his foxtail something or other one day. Just need to find the right colors to spin. Yeah. Yep. It's definitely getting the color balance right. I'm just having a squiz here in the chat. Lots of stuff went in. I thought it would be good for my hands, but it could well be. It could well be. Claire is wondering, people on the retreat, what do you make at the retreat? Everyone did something different. That's the advantage of the Fiberific retreat. It's a multi-craft retreat, so whatever you're working on, bring it. If it's a big project, you have an entire 6-foot table to yourself. You have space, you have PowerPoints, you have what you need. So every person has access to 2 PowerPoints on each table. Like, you can make whatever you want. They make memories and friends. That's it. That's beautiful. Memories and friends, for sure. For sure. I have a scrappy corner to corner blanket on the go today. I'm spinning. Nice. Oh, Angela. It's frogging time for Angela. Yeah, I do just adjust the colors. Absolutely, Sue Ellen. I really do. That's all I do. His designs are wonderful. I don't make too much of it because, like, I'm been making this for a couple of years now. Rethinks my project. Yeah, you can make whatever you want. We do have a little project that you can work on at retreat if you want to. It's a secret. No one knows until retreat because I bring everything that you need to do it. But it's, it's an option. But you won't get that until, Saturday. So if you need something to work on Friday, then possibly bring something. Freaky says these lives are the closest I get to large groups. Hey, you know what, Freaky? Me too, mate. Me too. I definitely prefer this than can you imagine 40 people sitting in a room right now chatting and talking about it would be amazing for a start, but it would be very loud. Claire has a jumper. Awesome. With frogs. Why is it a green jumper or you got a frogger jumper? I don't know whether to be happy or not. I tend to take whatever project I'm working on at the time, but I don't always work on it. Last year I bought a project and probably only worked on it for a few hours over the whole weekend. I mean, that's legit. That's legit. And there's a comment coming. I needed to get over onto stream it. There we go. Because this also just happens. Some people just do this as well and just sit back in the chairs chatting with people, having adult drinks. Yeah, that's a legit option as well. The Game Widow says, I took spindles, a pair of needles, and no plans, and we'll be doing similar this time as well. Yes. Yes. I mean, like at retreat, we have 20. So imagine double that. So, yeah. Too much talking, drinking, and dancing. I mean, I don't recall doing much dancing. But yes, the others, sure. Secrets are happening. Yeah, they are. There's always a little workshop that we do. Something that I plan. Sneaky, very sneaky. Because I'm sneaky. All right, we're up to the last repeat here. I'm just going to check the pattern. Make sure I'm doing it right. That goes there. Hang on. Then 1 and 2. And there. And 2. And the end of the row. Blip. Bam, done. That was Sally. That was Sally dancing. Yes, Claire, absolutely. And I'm in the same boat. We're definitely thinking about what projects we're going to take before we worry about packing our clothes. Because I'm like, oh, I better take this and I better take that. And it's like, okay, I need a second suitcase. Are you doing extra goodie bags for the shop? At this stage, no. But I'm still not 100% decided, if that makes sense. Because I'm not 100% decided on it, but at this stage, it's still a no. I'm just looking at time and trying to get everything done. But yeah. Oh, there's video evidence of the dancing? Probably. Tea drinking time. But yes, the retreat is only 6 weeks away. I need to finish making the bags for the goodie bags and then go from there. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm trying very hard not to spoil things. Somebody asked me a question. It's got nothing to do with the goodie bags at retreat. It's like moving along now. Back to this. I need to get back to the persimmon yarn. I just need to actually just cross some stuff off on my pattern to make sure. Oh, hello. I worked out what was warming up the blanket. It was on a power box. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. All right. Where am I up to? Which row? So Okay. Still going on this color. Excellent. Let's not set fire to the studio. What airport do I need to fly into? You can either fly into Gold Coast or Brisbane. I'm sure we can work lifts for either. The venue that we're going to is nowhere near any of the airports, so it's all going to be a rounding trip. So, um, Natalie's just posted evidence to the fun zone. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. Let me look here. Usual drill. Please yell if you want some help. You have some fab locals. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm 100% certain that if I put a call out for help, that I would get that help for sure. Have spinner's block. Now cannot evenly spin thicker yarn after spinning thin fiber for so long. Haven't touched my joy for nearly 12 months. We'll have to use some non-precious fiber. Yeah, Judith, that's a really standard problem. Oh, hello. Oh, thank you, Sally. That's a really standard problem that that spinners have is when you're beginning, your job is to go thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner. And then all of a sudden you want to do something that's I just want to add a blocked word. So I just need to control C that for later. Um I tend to add these channel names to my block word list so that they can't post anymore. But yeah, so it's definitely something that happens to a lot of spinners, and then trying to get back to spinning your squishy lofty yarn, it takes thought and practice. And then you'll do it again, but you've worked so hard to spin a really thin, fine, like lace weight yarn or something. Now you want to eke it back and get like a lovely squishy 8-ply. It's a different skill set, so you've kind of got to plan that. Um, um, Decided I should start winding my skeins into balls at least. That's a great place to start so that whenever you're ready, you're ready. I reported them. Excellent. Thank you. We all whinge about bumpy, chunky yarn when we start out spinning, but then have trouble going back once we master the thin. Yes. And that is like every spinner that I know of, and that's hundreds, have all had this problem. It's and it's like, oh yeah, that happens to everybody. That and it doesn't make you feel any better. But just know you're not alone and that you can, with practice, get back to your chunky yarn again. Chintami spins like cobweb yarn now. I'm really bad at spinning thick. I'm definitely a thin spinner, and I prefer to use under 8-ply for my projects. See, for me, I I I personally prefer to work with about a 4-ply weight yarn, so I tend to spin a lot of 4-ply yarn. So, um, Game Widows needs to work out flying logistics. I wouldn't worry about the sausage rolls because it's fully catered, so we never run out of food while we're there, honestly. Um, and that they are also catering to make sure that people with allergies are being looked after as well. Um, Because like I better be alone. I'm the only one here. In your home, maybe in your home. Yeah, Nettie says that it's the same things happening to her as well. Yeah. Um, I would love to see photos of your current spinning over in the Fiberific Fun Zone. I'm not sure if you're a member over there or not, Judith, but if you want to join up, it's free to join into the Fiberific Fun Zone. It's a Facebook group where basically everyone here is over there, so we can all talk to each other and show photos and talk about links to the recipes that we talked about during a live stream. So who's bringing the mint sliced biscuits? Everyone again? Possibly. Oh, look. Let's just do that. But yeah, so it's definitely uh, a fun place to be, and because there's someone in there all the time, you've always got someone you can chat to over there. And definitely have a good time. What does autocorrect hate me? I think autocorrect hates everybody. I wouldn't take that personally. Maybe you need to message with Game Widows. Um, and Bob Curran actually has a really great solve here. If you are spinning thin yarn, just add more ends when you're applying. And I do that a lot, especially if I want to make cables. Like if I want to knit something that's got cables in it, I want a really nice round yarn. I want 3 or 4 ends in my plies. I don't want 2 because that tends to like just go sort of flattish, which is great for lace weight. But when I want to do cable, sorry, for lace work, but when I want to do cables, I want a really nice round yarn. So getting some more ends in there, some more plies, gives you a nice round yarn. And sometimes that can be what you need to just bulk it out a little as well. Then you get to spin your fine yarn, and you get to make a thicker yarn. So tends not to have quite the same squish, but I mean, it doesn't matter. It depends on what you're making. Nettie says, I'm having trouble spinning on a double treadle. Really? So I'm assuming you've always spun on a single treadle and now you've moved recently to a double treadle? Or is there a problem with the double treadle? Because for me personally, when I changed from single to double treadle, it was so much easier on my body. It was so much more balanced. I just sort of sat there and just like, boop, boop. I actually, I'm very, I like music. And so I always have like music running through my head. Don't let's not go there. But anyway, I always have, and I have a song that my brain thinks of when I'm spinning, and it just gives me this beat. Doot, 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 and I just have this, and so I just treadle at this speed. And sometimes slower, it depends on what song my brain has given me. But as long as I'm just going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, I have no problems with the double treadle. But there could be an issue with your wheel as well, which would be something totally, totally different. Oh, we're starting the next row. I've got the yarn. Where are we at for time? Yes, I can start the next row. I may not get it finished, but I can definitely start it. And here we go. Oops, change the camera angle. Hang on a second. There we go. Alrighty. Possibly move on to the next row of the pattern also, the row with the instructions. Rhythmic treadling, absolutely. And my biggest struggle is staying awake when I'm spinning because the rhythm puts me to sleep. Yeah, which is a weird thing. I understand that. I always use a traditional and now have a double treadle and cannot get my tension right, and I think it must be my balance of spinning. What double treadle are you on? What kind of wheel did you go for? So I cannot get my tension right. It could legit just be an issue with the tension knob on your wheel. And just remember just to have a little less tension when you're double treadling because you do have 2 feet doing the work. So the flyer will fly a little more. I mean, it does for me. That's not a hard and fast rule. But it's definitely something you could try. Oh, you've got a Victoria. Okay. Yeah, it's just a standard traditional wheel with 2 pedals. Okay. So is it a new Victoria or did you or was the double treadle put in as like the afterthought where they because there was yeah. Because sometimes that you can buy a single treadle spinning wheel and then retrofit it to double treadle, and that could be causing an issue as well if it's a retrofit. Definitely worth looking into, but I would just keep tweaking and keep playing because you've been doing your single treadle for a long time. It is different. Grab some just some practice fiber. And just it's like when you drive a new car, right? You say you've been driving your old clunker for the last 15 years, then you save up and buy yourself a new car. It's a totally different drive. Like, yes, it still gets you from A to B and you still have to close the door and put the seatbelt on. and adjust your seat heights and whatever but you've got to adjust everything a bit differently now. So it's just that kind of thing. You just need to give yourself time to learn the new wheel. Probably don't practice on it enough, possibly. That's possibly a real thing. New wheel, I would be giving it 15 minutes a day, at least for a couple of months to adjust to all its new little quirkies. So, yeah. Because it's like anything, you're learning it all over again. When I changed from my X-Trail to my Mazda 3, my Mazda 30, sorry, it a very big change. Very big change, but legit 2 cars. But I had to really think differently about how I drove it. So you're in the same boat, but less chance of crashing into people, hopefully. Less chance of being destructo. I would really like to get this row complete, but I don't know if we will. I don't know. Get us that bit closer to another color finished. Oops. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Am I the only one who looks at something sometimes and goes, "Oh, have I done that right?" And then you go and pull it all out, and then you realize, no, that was right, and you just have to put it straight back in exactly how it was? No, just me. Okay. Excuse me. Mm. All right. Let's fire along. Bye, Leanne. Have an awesome day. It doesn't drive. Okay. Well, that analogy probably won't work for you then, Nettie. Oh dear. Okay. I've got to think of another analogy. When you move into a new house and the shower and water pressure are different, you can't just be like, "Whoop, got the perfect hot water anymore. You've got to do something else." Ah, I mean, that works too, right? Oh, disastrous struck, Vampire. And Artog's out of coffee as well. One of you guys can go and put the kettle on, right? Seriously. Um, Judith, I'm with you. I've got busted knees, and double treadle was the best decision I made to make it so I could enjoy my spinning and not end up in pain. Chintami says, added some pics to the fun zone of what I'm currently doing, which is spinning in the garden. Ah, that's awesome. I'd love to see photos of like what you're doing now. Like literally just grab your phone and take a photo and share it to the fun zone. Um, so that we can all like see where everybody's crafting or whatever. That would be cool. I mean, it's probably a bit hard. Yeah, no, even if you're watching it on your phone, you could probably still take a photo, right? Not it. Sorry. That just took me a second to realize what you've done there. You're like, "You're not it. You're not the one going to make the coffee." Because you're such a 12-year-old. I'm sorry. Oh. That was gold. That was absolute gold. Molly says it's like learning the new software updates on your iPad. Absolutely. That's exactly right. Oh my gosh. This is going to be something, Artsog, that I mention in a group that I'm in of video creators when we talk about the importance of live streaming because some people are very afraid to live stream. I'm not quite so afraid to live stream, and I mentioned that. We talk about community and building a safe place for people to be themselves, and that was perfect. Perfect. Nettie has a question. If I went to Spotlight to buy DPNs and stitch markers, would you expect that a huge craft shop to carry those things? Spotlight are now currently stocking Knit Pro. I think you could get what you needed. I think you could actually even find DPNs at Big W at just the ponies, at a pinch. You could probably get it. I would double check I've got such a frog in my throat today. I would double check, on the app, like, go to the Spotlight website and double check if their store stocks the Knit Pro. Yeah, it's gonna depend from store to store. Honestly, it'll depend which store you go to. But they should. Technically, they should, but they may not have all the sizes, so, yep. Um, oh, thank you. Thank you. Chintami says the one at Robina is little and doesn't have them, but the big one at Burley does. That's the thing. It really depends on which store you go to. Claire, I'm trying not to laugh at you right now. I really am. I moderate a live stream, and one of the things I do to the live streamer is hashtag hydrate. Oh dear. Um, yeah, I probably need water, and I've just realized I made myself a coffee and I made myself tea. I did not bring in some water. But we're nearly we'll get there. We'll make it. We'll make it to the end, everybody. We legit will. Oh gosh. Um, Claire's just sent through a smiley face. Sorry, it took me a little second to work out what the emoji was doing. Will it bring it up? There we go. Smiley face emoji. Hey Claire, I caught part of that live you did yesterday on Instagram. That was pretty cool. I'm looking at Claire's post and I have a dialect a a Dalek in my head saying hydrate. It's in a robotic voice. Oh my gosh. Um, they don't even have a place to put. Oh, you'll need to type in double pointed or just look up knitting needles. You need to be more generic for Spotlight. They won't call them DPNs. Um, Sally's added a thread, so if you want to add pictures of where you are right now, add them to today's live stream thread. Thank you, Sally. That is awesome. It helps us to keep the group chat a little bit tidy, especially after a live stream. We go in and hammer it. So, yeah, Freaky could possibly be a Doctor Who fan. Yep. Oh, Nettie said that she went into the shop yesterday and they didn't have any. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not guaranteed. It's really not. Oh, Holly. Oh my gosh. I need this on a shirt. I drink filtered water, filtered through coffee grounds. Oh my gosh. Yes. Wow. I love that. So good. Tom Baker was my first doctor as well, Freaky. And then my next favorite is Christopher Eccleston. He was the first of the new doctors. So I think what was he number 9? I think it makes him number 9. And while I love David Tennant and Matt Smith and all the others that have come after, for me, Chris Eccleston is what brought Doctor back. So that's where I'm at with that. That's my reasoning. Also, he's funny. Um, yeah, Tom Baker does it for me as well. Yep, Artsog. Yep. He was such a good doctor. He didn't get enough time, I don't reckon. Those 2, I think, should be twins. Which 2? I'm confused as to what we are speaking of there, Freaky. Um, Francis says during lockdown, Spotlight sold out of all knitting needles and crochet hooks. I'm not surprised. So many people took up craft. I'm going to have to work on a shirt now for our Redbubble store about drinking filtered water. Naturally filtered water through coffee grounds. Oh, those 2. Yep. Sorry. You're bad with names. But yeah, it was yeah, I'm a Doctor Who fan. I have a Doctor Who handbag. Um I don't like the Lady Doctor Who. How can I have a crush? I mean, it's the personal preference, but we've got another boy Doctor Who coming. There's apparently a really cool, special that's just been filmed that's actually got David Tennant and Catherine Tate in it. So that should be pretty cool. I can't wait to see that. Freaky says, "I haven't watched an episode since 2006." We got some catching up to do there, Freaky. Do you have a streaming service? It's on some, not on others. I think what's Doctor Who on here at the moment? I think it's on Prime at the moment here. They move around. I can't keep up. I get really frustrated. I'll be halfway through like a season of something and then it will move. And I'll be like, damn it, where was I up to? Binge Habit from Sue Ellen. Yeah, that's Binge is only in Australia. Freaky's in Canada. Oh, Vampire says, "I boiled the kettle so now Artsog could make the coffee." My niece says, "I'm not it." Oh, this is gold. Let's see who if you guys get coffee. Yeah, Stan has some of the seasons. Holly likes the 13th Doctor because it was easier for her to cosplay. Sally says ABC iView in Australia has some as well. Do they have all of them, Sally, or just some of them? iView is notorious for not getting full series, and it does my head in. I like to watch from episode 1, season 1, all the way through. I may have Doctor Who on DVD, just so that I don't have to work out where it is. I don't have all the seasons. I have the first few. Gosh, you guys are hilarious. Judah says, Nip Pro Symphony tips have a problem with breaking. What is considered lifetime warranty? 12 months. Possibly. I don't use wood needles for that precise reason. They break. I am a Chaogu stainless steel lover. And Chaogu, while technically have a 12-month warranty, they cite it as a 12-month warranty. They don't try and tell you that it's longer. They originally started out with a lifetime warranty and then realized that they couldn't sustain that. And they made it very clear in public and especially to all the dealers. But most dealers will still just switch it out for you. My daughter did Billie Piper as a fancy dress costume. Sally's only ever watched one episode. I hope it was a good episode. Actually, it was probably a bad episode, which is why you only ever watched one. Shintamani says, "I don't like blunt tips, so wood doesn't work for me." Yeah, I'm a lace knitter. I want them sharp, pointy tips. I like them tippity tips that don't quite make you bleed. But if you used enough force, they could be a life-saving device. I'm actually not a fan of higher, just because for me, they're a little bit too sharp. But they are fantastic for lace knitting as well. Nice, sharp, tapered points. But I prefer the Chaogu knit lace, the tapered spikies. That's not the legit term, tapered spiky. It's not a proper descriptor of the construction of the needles. Oh my gosh. Just make up random words. Oh, Sally's in there. Good job, Sally. Thank you. It'll be really nice. YouTube are rolling out some features which may not totally stop these guys, but they're actually making it so that channel names can no longer have emojis in them. And only like they're really limiting what can be used because of spammers and people copying other creators and things like that. So there's you'll actually find that channel name is slightly different, Freaky. Or the other thing is that it could be exactly the same channel name, but on a separate channel. And quite often these sort of scammers will have like a half a dozen channels that they can just log out and log back in with a new channel and jump on and start again. It's an unending game for YouTube live stream moderating. Because if I had have accidentally brought that onto screen as well, YouTube actually punished the streamer, not the person who created the channel name, which is ridiculous. But anyway, Dolores says, I'm currently using the Chalgu bamboo circular kneaders. They are sharp. Yeah, the Chalgu bamboos are quite sharp, but I still prefer the stainless steel. At that, and I'm like Queen Destructo of knitting needles. Like I just snap them. High tips are lovely, but the cords are a stupid curly plastic. Yeah, I definitely love the Chalgu steel cords. Like they are the bee's knees. And I'm really enjoying so far my testing of the Swiv cable. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Yeah, so you don't actually block that name, you block a channel. And that they could have 15 channels with that exact same name, and you'd have to go in and block each one as they appear, which is why they can come back into the chat, because we've actually they've been blocked from the channel, so that first one can't actually ever comment here again. So they have to come in with a whole new channel. So it's just what they do. I honestly don't understand how they make any money. Like that, to me, that's the only reason why you would be a spam bot rubbish trash thing like this, is to try and make some coin. I don't understand how they make coin. I really don't. Let me look here. Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird. There've been a lot of really big creators that have had to deal with this stuff. And like they go into their comments and somebody using their exact image, like their photo and their channel name, like the channel display name, commenting on their channel. So it's not actually them, but it's someone who set up a channel to look like theirs, just in commenting, suggesting like, hey, it's so good you know commented, you've won a prize, contact us here, and it looks legitimate-ish. And then they get them into WhatsApp or Telegram and rip them off. Like, oh yeah, you can have a one-on-one call with this massive, huge creator that you love for $49.95 for an hour. Wouldn't that be amazing? And people pay. And they, then they blame the creator. And it's just like, dude, it wasn't even me. Like, if you had clicked the channel, you would have seen that there was no video content. It was just so yeah, so YouTube are trying to help people, but they're very slow. It's a very slow process. Oh, Vampire, congratulations on seeing that your husband loves you. He made the coffee. Oh, he really just wanted coffee and would feel guilty if he just made his own, though. That's really the true story here, isn't it? Yeah, and yeah, Freaky Geek, it's an issue that people are having all over. Gonna have to make us both lunch as well, aren't I? Possibly. I'm like, what am I gonna have for lunch today? I don't even know. I had Thai for dinner last night, so I don't want rice. What is everybody gonna have for their next meal? Because for us, it's lunchtime. For some people, they've just had dinner, so their probably next meal will be breakfast. I don't know. I need ideas. Last week, was it Leanne who was making spicy noodles? I made spicy noodles. It was so good. I was like, yeah, I want that. So you guys need to give me some suggestions. Sue Ellen has got a scoop for work. I've only got a little bit left to go to finish this row. So I'm just going to keep going for another minute or two while I finish this row. And you guys can give me some lunch suggestions. It can't be a sandwich because I have no bread. Yeah. Bought a set of Chowgu. I love them, but I buy Zing if I need it for size I rarely need. Okay. Ramen from Chintamani. What do you like? I don't just make ramen. Like I put all sorts of stuff in with it. Like what do you put in with your noodles? I mean, I could go noodles. Artzog could have has spicy noodles every day. Ah, that sounds great. What about a big salad? I could do a salad. It's a bit cool though. I'd like something warm. Chicken and veggie soup tonight for dinner, cold and wet and windy, so I need a warming dinner. That sounds amazing. Deb's off. Bye, Deb. See you later. Have an awesome one. We're nearly at the end. I'm just powering through. Just powering through this last row so I can snip off the yarn, and it makes it easier to move everything off the table. So this afternoon I can pack all of the orders. Soup and a roll for Game Widows. That sounds nice. I wonder if I've got the makings of soup. I don't have a roll. I wonder if I've got any rolls in the freezer. I don't think I do. It's 10 p.m. there for Freaky Geek. So yeah, probably not thinking about your next meal just yet, Freaky. Sorry, dude. Well, now you are. Now you're like, I'm hungry now. Fried cabbage with, I don't know how to say that, and vegan ramen. You'll have to teach me tonight. You'll have to tell me how it sounds. Jennifer Baker is having some tinned soup. That sounds good. Freaky says, lol, yep, but for snacks, not real food. Levany1 says, I'm going to take myself out for lunch. Lovely. And do the grocery shopping. Where are you going to stop for lunch? Are you just stopping at a little cafe, or are you stopping somewhere particular? 25 degrees for Bub. It's not 25 degrees here, is it? So my feet are like little ice cubes. Let me just check. It probably is, it's probably like, oh yeah, it's probably totes fine. Okay, so it's 21, feels like 22. My feet are freezing because I've got all the windows closed with all the sound stuff. There's no sun coming in. Maybe if I go into the lounge room, it'll be like, yeah, this is salad weather. It could legit be salad weather, and I just don't know. My regular lunch is little smoked salmon, cheese and crackers, cherry tomatoes, a couple of cucumbers, and some baby carrot. That sounds lovely. That sounds nice. I like the sound of that. Except for the smoked salmon. I don't do smoked salmon. I don't do salmon. Full stop. Not smoked, not steaks, nothing. Salmon, yucky. 16 degrees for Game Widows, 24 here in Indianapolis. Nice. We're similar temperatures right now. And we're in winter, in the middle of the day. Vampire says 17 here feels like 8. Yeah. It's supposed to be 21 here, feels like 22. Chintali says it's 22 here, but very windy, so I've rugged up while spinning outside. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, we're at the end screen here. 1, 2, then that. Then 1, then 2, then 1, and then 2. Now, I can't guarantee that I'm going to be finish this color by next week because oh, whoops, hang on. I didn't do the last stitch. I hope I've left myself enough tail. That'll suck. I mean, there's enough tail. There we go. Woo-hoo! Whew. Okay. Yeah, I can't guarantee that I will get this color done because, I planned on getting it done for this week and did not. So fingers across that my shoulder starts to feel less horrid and that I can do more of the things that I like to do. So I hope you all have an awesome week, that you get all the craft done, that you get inspired and you make the next thing that you want to make. And I'll see you all either in the Fiberific Fun Zone online, or I'll see you back here next week for more live crafting and chatting. And I'll see you all later. Bye now.